We were pretty famous back in high school.
Trust us. Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous.
What episode is it? Oh, 187. What are you doing?
I don't know. That's
Okay.
That's me flailing around is like this. Start the show.
I thought you were in
Yep.
some sort of panic mode, like you hit start and then something went horribly wrong and you don't know what to do. Like there's like
I mean, that's normal, right? That's
Like,
par for course.
your
I hit
oil-
record and everything goes to shit.
your oil lamp tipped over and you like a little fire has started on your desk and you just don't know what to do.
Yep. Yep. Because I decorated my room to resemble the 1800s.
Well, you
All of this is, it's insane how like non-flickery all my lighting is, considering it is oil lamp lit in here.
you have so many oil lamps that the flickering variance between them is so small that it presents the illusion of just a constant state of brightness.
Right. But
Like-
if you were to film, if I was filming this with a high speed camera,
Well,
we
that
could
would
slow it down and you'd really see how much it gets flickery in here.
right. That would reveal to the audience, the magic behind the scenes of how this all works.
Yeah. That, or if I just had a camera behind me, that would also do it.
So
Then
to
it would
point
just
toward the
show-
lamps.
It would show, it would show the whole setup and
So-
everything.
So your entire
Multiple camera angles.
room is lit with oil lamps, but they are all in front of you. You have no lamps like to the side of you in the back or any. I know the back corner obviously doesn't have any. Because,
Those ones just aren't currently lit.
so okay.
I have just right now. There's just lighting in front of me currently.
Based on
Looks like it's lit up back there because of it's bouncing off the ceiling.
I'm gonna say, based on how well lit your room appears to be, I'd say you don't need to light any additional lamps ever, because your room is very bright with the few you have going.
To be honest, I very rarely ever turn on the oil lamp that hangs from the ceiling fan. That almost never comes on.
Yeah, well, it's probably a bad idea for a couple reasons.
Ceiling fans also oil powered.
It's oil powered,
Mm-hmm.
as in you have to light oil for the heat to then run. Is it like a sort of a almost like a steam?
Yeah,
powered?
but you can't see the light coming from that internal combustion system that's set up for that ceiling fan. It
Yes,
really
I can.
it defeats the purpose because it produces heat while it's trying to cool down the room with its fan option with its fan abilities that it is.
That makes
That whole sentence was awful.
the explanation makes sense. The practice does not.
Mm-hmm.
Is this by choice, or is this what's available in the living space which you're currently renting?
Yeah, this is a very old building, but that's kind of what I liked about it. It was really retro, It was like,
Was that
Yeah.
okay? Was
yeah,
that yeah? Because late 1800s is considered retro, I think,
super in style. Yeah, well, yeah, wouldn't it be?
and Vogue. So
I don't know if it's in vogue.
that was that a big selling point? This specifically the oil powered ceiling fan. You're like, man, this is the only place I've ever seen with an oil powered ceiling fan. We have.
No,
How
I
is this
found
not
out.
rented out already?
No, I found out about that after the fact when I tried to turn it on conventionally and it just wasn't working. So I kind of got up there with a ladder and was taking a look at it, and I'm like, oh, what's this wick? So I
Okay.
I lit it, and all of a sudden the fan just started spinning. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's how it works.
So you looked at the fan and didn't notice the lack of electrical light bulbs and pull strings, and you didn't notice the array of oil lamps underneath it?
I thought it just appeared that way. Like I thought they were like just retro bulbs, maybe.
Like it's an aesthetic choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those Edison bulbs in a way, but older.
Yeah.
Okay, so this predates Edison bulbs as far as your aesthetic look that they're going for. At least you thought, but in actuality, it even predates the idea of Edison bulbs, literally, because these are legit late 1800s oil lamps in this building.
Mm-hmm.
So do you ever
really sets the mood?
Do you ever? What mood does it set?
Just any mood. Really sets all the moods.
You want to get flickery, baby?
Like I'm like, whenever I just want to be in a mood, it sets it so hard. It
sets it so finally. You can't remove it without special tools.
Yeah, it's fully set.
Yeah.
I am fully set right now.
It's a complete set. You have the complete set.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's no more collecting over here. There's no more searching, hunting for that sweet find.
Nope.
Ladies, you heard it here. Matt's got a complete set.
Mm-hmm. Game set match, baby.
Wherever he is. Tennis?
Currently at home.
Yeah, that's where you play tennis, right?
I would say it's a tennis or any similar-ish game reference.
Yeah, that uses the terms game, set, and match. I'm not sure what else.
Any game that starts off as a game has sets in it, and you can win the match.
No, that's not true. You can't.
I would assume table tennis has has similar rules. Maybe pickleball has similar rules.
I'm sure. Volleyball? Yes, volleyball.
Maybe.
Basically, a lot of net-based sports maybe have these.
Yeah.
Water polo, perhaps.
Yeah, regular polo.
Alai.
Alai does not use a net.
It doesn't. Don't you? What's the one where you?
No, it's walls.
No, that's racquetball.
And highlight as well.
I thought highlight is the one where you kick it. You kick it over the net. Is it not?
No, I think isn't highlight. This is the thing with the big scooped thing you have on your arm. Is it not?
Maybe, perhaps.
Where the balls fly at like over 100 miles an hour and people get very harmed.
I don't even know. I have no idea how to spell.
I couldn't tell you how to spell it. It's not with an H.
It isn't?
I don't think it is. Is it? I thought it was like J or something.
Know. I'm just going to go crazy.
Google how do you spell highlight?
Okay. We don't know what you're asking.
No.
It's okay. I found it. It's JAI space ALAI. So none of us saw that coming. So
I said I think it's with a J.
No, well, that's true. All I heard was it doesn't start with an H, so that didn't help me. That left me
and then
25 other possibilities.
I think it's with a J.
Okay. Highlight is a sport involving bouncing a ball off a walled-in space by accelerating it to high speeds with a handheld wicker, commonly referred to as cesta or cesta. It is a variation of Basque pelota. The term highlight, coined by somebody's name in 1875, is also often loosely applied to the fronton, the open-walled playing area. So now I'm wondering
1875, you say?
Yep.
A lot of highlight courts were
lit
with oil lamps.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Unless they were just limited to daytime play. Imagine flinging this ball around at such high speeds off of these walls. They're not going to have oil lamps just all over the place to get destroyed and cause a giant fire inside the fronton.
Not down low. They have to have all the ceiling mounted ones like I do.
You don't think
with the fans that keep the highlight court nice and cool?
Nice and cool. Well, it's good to have those placed really high because any heat would just go up to the ceiling. And then the cool air provided by the fan would blow down toward the people playing the sport. So, you're
But
not.
you can't turn the fan up too high or it's just going to put itself out.
It's going to blow out the lamp that's powering
Mhm.
it. Yeah, it's one of those. It's kind of like when you take the last trash bag out of the box, then you have to throw the box into the trash bag. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so sad.
Or you recycle it like a good human.
Well, I have my recycling in a bag currently. I'm new to recycling here. I finally
So
bought.
then sometimes you get confused and you throw it in the trash.
No, well, I haven't gotten there yet. I'm telling you, I'm very recently a recycler here because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a second can with which or in which to throw waste or things I'm not using anymore. And
90% of the shit you throw into recycling just ends up in the trash anyway.
well, why would you tell me that? Because I just bought a can for recycling only. Why would you tell me that? Why did you tell me that a week ago?
It's good to try.
Look, I mean,
then at least you've done your part to try to make sure you're recycling, and it's up to the trash people to actually make it happen.
I'm over here rinsing out cans and bottles and
cans are good. Cans will definitely get recycled.
Don't they prefer that you don't crush them, or do they not?
No,
care
I believe
about that?
crushing is better.
It's good for
because
space,
they'll
man.
melt faster.
That's why. Okay. Also,
It'll
just
melt faster because they usually end up throwing it in this big thing that ends up like just shredding it all up anyway.
Oh, so it doesn't matter.
So it kind of doesn't matter in the end. But I know like back in the day when you used to be able to take cans
in the
to
1800s?
the recycling centers. Well, no. Well, there's an 8 involved. It was the 80s.
The 1880s?
And probably 90s.
The
Sure.
1890s?
But yeah, when soda was all the rage.
Yeah.
But if you take your cans to recycling centers and they'd actually give you money for your cans and stuff, you'd get more money if they were crushed.
I was not aware of that. So
we always crushed all our cans.
Not only do you get more because they are crushed, you can transport more in the same amount of space because they are crushed.
Mm-hmm. We used to do it like once a year or something like that, or maybe even less often than that. But we would have trash bag, like the big 50-gallon trash bags filled with cans, crushed, and we would fill the back of my dad's flatbed truck, which had an 8x12 bed on it, and it would be heaped full of cans.
So that was probably a pretty nice haul on the way back. Like how much?
Yeah,
like the big payout.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much money we'd get for it, but we'd haul tons of cans. Not literally in weight, but like hundreds of pounds of cans.
Like a lot of cans
would go to this place. Mm-hmm.
Now, is it not true that if you took them to Michigan, it would be, well, then maybe that's bottles. I remember seeing something where it's 5 cents for most places, but in Michigan it was 10. But that might have been glass bottles.
Maybe.
You could have just,
perhaps,
taken a little trip up to Michigan, could double your money. I'm sure it would balance out.
It would have cost so much more to drive all that way to do that, and then drive all that way back. You'd lose money.
Well, not if you crunch the numbers, or if you happen to find yourself
even if you crunch the numbers, it would still do it. It would still be the same result.
If you have
crunching
access,
the doing the actual number crunching, doing the work of crunching the numbers doesn't make the money better.
Well, no. You're basing the math off. You're basing the result of the math problem out of an assumption. You haven't crunched the numbers to know what the result is.
Do you know how many miles per gallon a big truck like that gets? Not very many.
But let's say you find yourself let me talk. Let's say you find yourself in a situation where you work for a company that regularly makes deliveries of some kind, and where the gas is paid for, and on a certain day of the year, let's call it Mother's Day, there's like an extra truck that you could use because of the normally higher volume expected mail to be delivered on that particular day. And so you have access to this extra truck, which might have a little bit of letters in it, but you could use the rest of that space in the back to fill with bottles and cans. And then you can make your deliveries quick and then make your trek over to Michigan to turn in your recyclables.
You don't think that they would wonder why it took you so long to do the route?
All that matters is you get the truck back by the end of the day. If you do
How
your,
long? Okay.
if you do your route
crunch
in
some
an
numbers
hour,
for me.
no,
Crunch some numbers for me real quick.
hang on, I got to
How
find my
long of a
numbers.
drive is it to just Michigan, just to hit Michigan?
Let me find my numbers. Hold on.
Assuming there's a recycling place right on the border of Michigan.
Look, I can't crunch my numbers until I gather my numbers. So 1 second here.
Also, I'm going to say the main part of Michigan, not the fucking peninsula part of Michigan up top.
Okay.
So you're not just trekking your little self through Wisconsin and up. You're going through Wisconsin, you're going down around fucking Lake Michigan.
I mean, fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay, I want to know how many hours it would be for you to get just to the little itsy bitsy corner of fucking Michigan.
I want it to tell me what's the capital. Let's just look up Lansing or something.
Okay, so we're going into the heart of Michigan.
It's because I tried to search. I don't know if I could just get directions to the state of Michigan.
I mean, you can go on Google and just click a point and then say directions.
I don't want Southeast Michigan Avenue. These numbers are becoming harder to crunch than I anticipated. You're going to find it before me. Michigan.
I might.
U.S.
I use Google a lot. Apparently, I know how to use it better than you do.
I'm not using Google.
What are you using?
It's 9.25 hours just to get to the state of Michigan, according to this. And now this final destination, it's a little ways in. It's like the middle of the glove. It's right about here.
Okay.
If I was a palm reader, I would say that's in the lifeline of Michigan.
Okay.
So 9 hours. So just 18.5 hours round trip. You do your route in an hour, delivering your Mother's Day letters.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the rest of the time.
You're requiring this person to drive 18 hours with no sleep.
You're driving. That's a person.
Okay, so you're expecting me to drive 18 hours, 18 and a half hours to be more.
Now that's if you
precise.
Just get to the lifeline. If you find a recycling center down here.
Oh, I might save myself a whole whopping hour.
At the elastic wristband of Michigan?
Okay. Regardless, we're looking at 17 to 18 hours of driving on top of that, I've already done an hour of my route. So not only do I have to get up, I have to get to work to get the vehicle.
Yeah,
I have to do my route. Then from there, at what point have I loaded all of these cans into my vehicle? So now I'm going to have to load the cans.
You did that.
I'm going to have to load the cans after.
You did it
How can I do it the night before, Sean? I have to do my route.
Look,
the cans will be in the way. I can't precisely do my route if the cans are all in the way.
No.
Also, it takes way longer than an hour to do a route.
You don't know how much. So the extra truck is not normally needed. This is like you get the truck that's like a little bit of spillover.
So why is there any mail in it?
Because you're a mail carrier in this scenario.
Okay, but if I'm a mail carrier, I have a designated route and a designated vehicle.
Yeah, well, it's different though. It's different on Mother's Day because of all the extra mail. Look,
it's definitely not.
I
would still have my own route.
You are
Sean. My mother was a postal worker for many years.
So was
I know how it works.
So was Newman from Seinfeld, which is where this whole scenario comes from.
Of course it does. Of fucking course it does. I'm surprised it wasn't fucking Simpsons. I'm sure you have a different Simpsons mail carrying fucking scenario you could bring up.
No, I don't think they ever.
I should have fucking known. Why would you have brought up mail carriers as a fucking option?
I don't think that's delivering on
also, those vehicles don't get great gas mileage either, so.
But the gas is paid for by the USPS. You're not paying for your own gas. Did your mom have to pay for her own gas, or did she get that expensed?
They're probably going to question why I filled the car up so many times in one day.
No, you
how many miles
all at once? That? I don't know. They were going.
What do you mean, do it all at once? How can you fill the gas tank multiple times all at once?
Oh, the gas tank. I thought you said like just the truck, as in with the cargo, the bottles.
No,
and cans.
how do you? Of course, I would fill that up periodically. I'm making several stops, picking up cans along the way.
Look, it's there's a lot of numbers that fly in and out of USPS. They're going to overlook this one. They're not going to.
So how many miles was that trip?
I have no idea.
Did you sum it up?
They were going from New York to Michigan, not from here. Wait, I mean, you know what? I'm doing math from here to Michigan, not from where you are.
Yeah, well, that's when I was recycling cans was back then, so I would have been from there.
Yeah, but you're doing it in.
That's where I was doing the math from, because I don't know. I didn't realize at the beginning of this it was my fucking scenario.
Of course it is. This is you.
So
you're the one who used your dad's flatbed, not me.
Yeah, when I lived in Minnesota.
Yeah, I never did
at
that.
The time.
Yeah, so
my dad doesn't own that flatbed anymore.
Neither do I. I never did.
That's why it was from Minnesota. So the numbers don't change. It's still from Minnesota.
Are you sure that flatbed was from Minnesota? Do you know the Carfax of that flatbed?
Well, that's where my dad owned it.
So that doesn't mean that's where it's from. It could have been manufactured in Michigan. Michigan was a booming auto industry back then.
What does
we're talking about the 80s and the 90s.
At what point does the manufacturing of the vehicle,
I don't know,
where it was built, have anything to do with where it's leaving from?
It doesn't. And
yes, he bought that from a man in Minnesota.
That doesn't mean anything.
At least the flatbed part of it, which ended up being on a different chassis later because we bought a different truck and put it on a different chassis at some point. That second truck was bought in Wisconsin.
No wonder you guys had to recycle so much for extra money. You guys are just piecemealing trucks together and just buying extra parts.
Well, the flatbed. So the flatbed was built onto. So it was this old fucking Chevy truck. The guy took the bed off of it and then built a flatbed onto it. And later that truck just rusted out so fucking bad that my dad found another truck that had no bed on it. It was just a cab and a chassis. So we bought that, and then we took the bed off of the old truck and put it onto the new truck.
Okay.
Simple as that. It fit like a fucking glove. You've seen that truck a million fucking times.
Yes.
You saw the version of the second run of it. You never probably saw the original truck.
Probably not. I always dreamed of it, but I don't think I ever got to see it.
Because the original truck was a Chevy, and then the one that was a Ford.
Of course.
Yeah.
Found on
a nice truck.
Road dead.
That's what some people say.
Can't have ever violated you.
Back to this recycling shit.
You're done now. You don't recycle anymore.
No. So here's the thing.
Okay.
Not only would the trip already take 18 hours.
Okay. From here.
From there. Exactly. Because that's where I would be leaving
from.
Well,
you would have been coming from Rogers, so it might have been even further.
All right. Well, we'll say 18 hours. We'll be kind. We'll say it was 18 hours. Okay. So that leaves us 6 hours of the day.
So let me just say something.
To do this whole car has to be back the same day shit.
Let me just say something. When I did the travel time from here to specifically Kalamazoo, which is closer to the border, not at the border, it's still a good ways into Michigan, it was just over 8 hours. So you've saved a ton of time by going to Kalamazoo or even something you run into sooner than that.
Okay, so do we want to say it's 16 hours?
16 hours.
So now we have 8 extra hours. So
Great.
Now we have 8 hours.
That's a whole
Let's
work
figure
day.
out what those 8 hours are. Okay.
That's sleeping.
That's a whole work day. Guess what that doesn't include?
The 8 hours is when you sleep.
Okay, so now I've slept. So when did I do my route? When was that hour for my route?
In the morning, like 5 a.m.
But I was sleeping.
5 a.m.
But you just said I was sleeping for 8 hours.
Well, you started the night before, silly. You don't. So you started. You went to bed early so you could get up at 5 a.m. to do your route. Then you're done at 6 a.m. Then you start driving to Michigan.
Okay. And I need to have the vehicle back within 24 hours.
Sure. So 6 p.m. You're at 12 hours. You're almost back. So
wait, I'm not almost back.
What do you say? You leave at 6 a.m.
So here's 8 hours. Here are the other things we need to factor in, Sean.
You're on the way back.
How how much time am I at the recycling center? Because I have to drop everything off there, and then they have to run it through their stuff so that I can get paid for it. So they have to get a weight of everything.
Yeah, scale.
So that takes some time.
I don't know about you, but I've seen scales work pretty quickly from what I've seen. You put
Okay,
the
have you ever
load
been
on,
to a recycling center?
not that one.
They have to put it all through the machine. It goes through the machine, through the conveyors, and that's how it weighs. It takes some time.
Fine.
It doesn't just get thrown on a scale.
You say, here's the stuff, here's my address, here's my phone number, here's my billing information.
No,
Send
because
me.
they pay you cash.
Yeah, mail it to
Those
me.
places pay you in cash. You can't mail cash. It's not legal. Well, you can. It's frowned upon.
We've mailed cash.
It's very frowned upon because if it goes missing, it's fucking gone.
Yeah.
Also, other thing we need to factor in. I'm going to have to stop and eat at some point.
What's this we stuff?
Every time
I'm not there.
Every time. Well, because I have to convince you that this is unfucking. I mean, you already know it's not possible because we're playing the same game of Sean makes up a crazy, ridiculous scenario and Matt has to get pissed off. I didn't make the scenario up.
Seinfeld did. I didn't make this up. Bump. Mike bump.
Anyways, have to factor in time to eat. There's going to have to be a nap in there because there's no way I'm driving that many hours without sleeping or I will fucking die because I'm going to crash.
You have
we passed out behind the wheel.
Look,
and also every time we have to factor in all the time it takes to stop a million fucking times to fuel up again because that car is not getting very good gas mileage.
You could realistically, I'd say you fill up 3 times one way.
Okay,
those are big gas tanks. We're not talking about your mom's Subaru. We're talking a full-on mail
but they
truck.
also get shitty fucking gas mileage.
Yeah, but
they're not meant for long distance.
But they have a lot of gas to burn up. Anyway, so it's probably 3 fill-ups on the way there. And you are a smart little boy who wants to maximize.
That's already like an hour of killed time.
You're a smart little boy who wants an hour. It takes you 20 minutes each time to fuel up. It's not an EV.
Tank,
it's not an EV. 20 minutes.
It's a big tank. Apparently.
20 minutes.
And I always fill up on the slowest.
Not.
Yeah, I honestly do.
Why? Because
it creates less fumes in the tank.
But it doesn't matter what the gas smells like. It all smells like gas.
Yeah, but it fills the tank up with. It's better for I'm not going to get into it, but there's a whole reason behind it. I watched a whole thing about it.
Should I do that? Because I'm always like, I'm going to rush. I got places to go. I got places to be.
It's less likely to back up too if it's going slower, so that it doesn't accidentally kick the thing off, and then you leave with a not quite full tank.
So now I got to set aside more time to gas up every time because
20 fucking minutes.
Not 20 minutes, maybe total now if I'm doing the slowest pump setting. So, but you're a smart boy and you want to maximize the earnings on this trip. So you're not going to stop and eat. You're going to pack yourself some lunches the day before. You're going to make yourself some bologna sandwiches with mayo or Miracle Whip, depending on your preference. Maybe you're going to have some lettuce on there. You're going to have some apple juice and some potato chips.
No apple juice.
Okay, grape juice.
Too much sugar. Nope, too much sugar.
Okay, Faygo.
I don't. That's way more sugar. I don't drink sugary shit anymore.
This is don't you remember? This is back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, then I'm not driving at all.
Yeah,
this whole scenario is wrong. None of this is happening. I'm not going to get that vehicle there and back in 24 hours now.
You're gonna put wood blocks on your feet so you can reach the pedals, and you're gonna sit on some books, perhaps Encyclopedia Britannica, volumes A through
we did
J.
Have those.
Yeah.
I don't think I would need that many.
And if you did that, you're obviously going to need more on your feet to reach the pedals because the higher up you sit yourself, the further away the pedals get.
Mm-hmm.
So for ease of use, you strap some more volumes to your feet so you can reach the pedals and ensure that you have a very hard time not pushing the gas all the way down.
Is this one of those big mail vans, or is it like one of the delivery mail vans? Because you said something about having a route. So if it's a route, it's like a regular little delivery, like door-to-door delivery van.
It's big. I don't know. It's big. You can fit a lot of
Okay, so
cans
it's
and
one of the
bottles
big-
back there.
One of the big vans that doesn't actually do mail routes.
But you will do a mail route with it. A very small one.
That's what a great use of government issued vehicles. I'm going to do a small route with this giant van that's mostly empty,
look,
other than the bags and bags of cans that are in it.
So I don't think you really paid full attention to the very beginning part of the scenario here.
I really didn't.
So normally the USPS will budget out a certain number of trucks based on expected mail load, right?
Sure, if you say so.
This is according to the show. on very heavy mail days, Valentine's Day, for example, around the holidays, Christmas, where people are sending Christmas cards out, there's going to be more mail being delivered. So then additional trucks need to be added for this to compensate. That doesn't mean that if you add another truck to the order, that truck is full. There might be, like I called this, the spillover truck. You get a little what couldn't fit in the initially regularly used trucks because there's a little. So Mother's Day was the biggest mail day of the year according to the scenario, and so they ordered a unusual fifth truck, which just had a little bit of spillover because the first four trucks couldn't hold it all. So it wasn't full front to back of mail. That's why they could fit most of the back of it with bottles. And only a small portion of it was used for mail. That's just because that's the amount of mail that was not able to fit in the other four trucks. So you were in charge of delivering what was in that fifth truck, and then you could use the rest of that space for bottles to haul to Michigan for the payout.
I'm so happy that you base these arguments you have with me on such realistic scenarios, such as Seinfeld or Simpsons all the time.
Well, I'm going to assume that they have more knowledge of the postal system than I do.
Possibly. They might have just been making shit up.
Maybe, but it seemed legit when I watched it. But unfortunately, on the way there, you'll find the car of the person that stole your car or your friend's car, and then their very valuable John F. Kennedy golf clubs in the back seat. And your route will be deterred. You'll go off of your route to Michigan because you have to make a choice between getting to Michigan to do the bottles as planned, or to take the exit that the car thief took to try to get your friend's valuable golf clubs back. And you make the choice to try to get your friend's golf clubs back. And then that guy tries to get you off his tail by chucking the golf clubs out the back of the convertible vehicle and hitting the truck. It's just, the whole thing is a shame. And how often did you do this as a kid?
This all happened just because you said
full
you
stop.
Recently.
Full stop. This all happened.
This last 25 minutes of this episode, I honestly haven't really known what the hell's been going on. I don't know why I let you get me to the point where I argue so passionately about something I don't give a shit about. You do it to me often.
I think it's because you there's that mantra where, help me accept the things I can't change and change the things I can't accept or something like that. Or did I just make that up?
Oh yeah, I know that well. You
don't live by that. So you let these things that really don't matter get to you.
Yeah. And I wonder why I'm stressed out all the fucking time.
I think it's your cats.
No, they're fine.
Oh. Matt.
They're being real chill right now.
You like music.
Occasionally.
Yeah. How would you say you feel about the artist known as Billy Joel? Are you familiar? Are you familiar with his catalog?
Not incredibly well.
Well, would you say you're pretty well at knowing the lyrics to the song Piano Man?
I would say probably not.
What about the song Billie Jean by Michael Jackson instead?
Do I need to be well versed in these songs to be able to play along with whatever you're trying to get at?
It's a multiple choice quiz, so you have to pick the right lyrics that are in the quiz.
Yeah, but is this one of those quizzes where the lyrics are never right no matter what anyways?
It is one of those, yeah.
So why does it matter if I'm well versed in a Billy Joel song?
Matt, we're going to test your knowledge on the lyrics of Billy Joel's Piano Man. What do you say?
All right. I mean, it can't be any worse than talking about recycling for the last 25 minutes.
Hey, we made recycling interesting. Sorry, those who work in recycling.
I think he's started apologizing before you were even you didn't even let a beat happen. It was just
I knew
you insulted recycling and then immediately apologized for insulting recycling.
Yeah. I think it's good PR. It's good, what do you call it? Something management.
I don't even have to edit out a gap there.
Damage control. Damage control.
That's how tight it was.
Yeah, anyway. All right. It's one of the most iconic radio hits of all time. You probably listened to it a lot when you were going to recycle cans. But how well do you really know Billy Joel's Piano Man? Take this quiz to find out. Okay, so the first one. It's 9:00 on Saturday. The blank shuffles in. Okay, the first choice is it's 9:00 on Saturday, or on a Saturday. The world's only wizard shuffles in. It's 9:00.
I think there's more than one wizard. So I don't think that's right.
It's
so far.
Okay, well, just rule it out before hearing the others. It's 9:00 on a Saturday. The ghost of the man I killed shuffles in. It's 9:00 on a Saturday. The cruel-hearted gang of chefs who have been harassing my family shuffles in.
That one's a little wordy.
Yeah, that's hard to fit in that space, but I have confidence in Billy Joel.
Mm-hmm.
It's 9:00 on a Saturday. The man who recently went to jail for taking his shirt off at the president's funeral shuffles in.
See, I don't think it's those last two because they're just a bit too wordy.
It's a mouthful, right? So those are the four choices for this question. You want me to read them again?
I'm going to go with the ghost.
Okay. So it's 9:00 on a Saturday. The ghost of the man I killed shuffles in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember the song that well, but I'm pretty sure that's the lyric.
I've heard this before. I'm pretty sure. Okay, number 2. Or did we do?
Doesn't even tell if I'm right or wrong yet.
I forget if we did this at the end or as we went along.
No, I think we were doing it as we went along.
Okay, so unfortunately, Matt, this is not correct.
Fuck.
Incorrect. The opening line of Piano Man introduces the angry and unforgiving gang of chefs who have been terrorizing Billy Joel and his family. This is one of the most iconic opening lines in pop music history, and it sets the scene for the rest of the song's compelling narrative.
I bet you it doesn't. Because I bet you it's going to go all over the fucking place and not just talk about angry chefs.
Well, give it a chance. Let's see what number 2 has to say.
Scene.
Let's see what number 2 has in store for us. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his blank and blank.
Mm-hmm.
Your first choice is there's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his wife and his older, smarter wife.
That does sound familiar.
That does sound like something he would say. The next choice, there's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his least favorite baseball player and his favorite baseball player.
I'm trying to think logistically how that would work, but go ahead.
Do you tell them which is which? There's an old man sitting next to me making love to his neighbor's car and cackling while his neighbor screams, "Stop fucking my car."
Tale as old as time there.
I know.
Who hasn't?
Shakespeare.
Who hasn't been in that scenario?
Shakespeare wrote about that one in Macbeth.
Yeah, except for it wasn't a car at the time. It was a
Steed.
Yeah. Talk about horsepower.
Whoa.
Whoa.
There's an old man sitting next to me making love to his own dead body from the future and shouting, I'm getting paid for this.
Seems like a paradox would happen.
Could you make yourself wait, there's no pregnancy involved in that.
Well, and you can't impregnate your own dead body.
You can't, but they could switch roles.
So you're saying the dead body is going to impregnate the living body?
Possibly. We don't know what these two are into.
It would have to be pretty freshly dead.
Well, yeah, we don't know what these two are into, though.
Yeah.
All right, you got to make a choice. We have wife and his older, smarter wife, his least favorite baseball player and his favorite baseball player, the neighbor's car, cackling while his neighbor screams, "Stop fucking my car," or Steed in Macbeth's case, an own dead body from the future shouting, "I'm getting paid for this."
Well, I'm going to say car because that one seems the most realistic to me.
Okay.
That seems like something anybody could, oops, it just kind of happens sometimes.
So you decided to go with a vehicle versus the first two choices, which involved other human beings that are living?
I mean,
as more likely?
Yeah, the car one's way more likely.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, Matt, but you've got this one incorrect also.
Oh, thank God.
I know, you were so far off.
I'm hoping to get every one of them wrong, to be honest.
Well, the real answer is, it says close, but no. This is the line where Joel observes that the old man sitting next to him is having sex with his own corpse from the future, apparently for monetary gain. Keep in mind, while we get through this, the song is called Piano Man. I hope that helps you.
Sorry, yeah, that clarifies things.
Yeah. So number 3, it says, he says, "Son, can you blank? I'm not really sure how blank." Okay. So he says, "Son, can you believe that the world's only wizard is here? I'm not really sure how he'll feel about this, but I'm going to ask him to use his magic to turn me into steam."
I forgot how wordy the song is.
I know. It's very long. It's a long song.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like 17 minutes.
He says, "Son, can you explain to me why these violent chefs are calling you the enemy of dough? I'm not really sure how chefs can be so angry, but I'm guessing you must have done something pretty terrible to dough." The third choice is, hey, he says, "Son, can you throw me into the ocean? I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it, but I want to train a shark to tell me in perfect English that my poetry is terrible."
What? Why would you want the shark to tell you you have terrible poetry?
Because sharks are known for their brutal honesty. And the last choice is, he says, "Son, can you talk to animals? I'm not really sure how else to tell my dog that I'm stronger than he is."
Oh, he was hoping that his son is Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, yeah.
And he can talk to animals.
Now, is it the Eddie Murphy version, or is it the Robert Downey Jr. version, or another one that predates Eddie Murphy?
Predates that, yeah.
The predates Eddie Murphy version. Wasn't the guy who played Pink Panther, was it?
I haven't seen any of the versions, so I don't know.
I saw Doolittle, which is the Robert Downey Jr. version.
I would assume that because this song was written in the 70s, I believe, it would have to predate both of the Downey Jr. and
Murphy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it sounds like you're heavily leaning on the talking to animals answer in that thought.
I mean, I'm talking about it.
Okay.
I'm not leaning any particular way right now. The red herring, I think, is bringing up the chefs again. I don't think he mentioned the chefs again. I believe he might not ever mention the chefs again. So I'm gonna go with shark.
Okay. So you're saying he says, "Son, can you throw me into the ocean? I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this, but I want to train a shark to tell me in perfect English that my poetry is terrible.
Yes.
All right. Gosh, Matt, you are not. Again, this is called Piano Man.
No, I may be confusing it with a different song.
Yeah, perhaps. Incorrect.
That's also called Piano Man.
Yeah, it's Piano Man. Like it's one word. Like I'm Mr. Piano Man.
Like it's a last name.
Yeah. That's that one was written in the 60s. Incorrect. In this line, we find out that the chefs who have entered the bar to harass Billy Joel keep calling him the enemy of dough, presumably because he did something bad to dough. All right, we're going to move on to question number 4.
He fucked the dough, didn't he?
Well, you know what? That might be the close, like the final line that closes out the song. Sing us a song. You're the piano man. Sing us a song blank.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so sing us a song.
I know this one. I got this one.
Okay. So just stop me once you get to the one that you know is right.
Well, I mean, I want to hear them
you
all.
Okay.
But...
Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Or sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song about the joys of shoplifting during wartime.
Oh, my favorite.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song about 2 dogs doing it while my house burns down.
Another normal scenario.
Are the dogs in the house?
Happens all the time.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song about women who get paid to blow kisses to melting wax replicas of themselves.
So specific.
Might be misleading, like intentionally specific to mislead you.
Yeah. I mean, it's the first answer.
You're the piano man.
Piano man. Yep. Mm-hmm.
He says, sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song, you're the piano man.
Yeah.
You know, have
you never heard a song that repeats its lyrics over and over?
I know, but most of the song being so lyrically dense, you think he would have put in the effort to put a second different line there.
Yeah, the chorus is pretty lame.
I think the chorus is like the palate cleanser before you dive deep into another like rich, dense verse. All right.
Yeah, I would have preferred the chorus just to be an instrumental.
Yeah.
At this point, because the song is so word heavy otherwise.
It is. I mean, what is this?
Yeah.
It's like Blues Traveler must have been heavily inspired by Billy Joel.
Perhaps.
All right, we're going to select that answer. Hey! I mean, sure, this is the chorus, so I'm expecting you to get this right, but you got this one correct.
Yeah. I told you I knew this one.
All right, so correct. In the song's legendary chorus, the crowd at the bar emphatically reminds Billy Joel over and over again that he is the piano man.
Because at that point in the song, he has, like, there's so much before that at that point, he has forgotten what song he's singing. So he needs to be reminded.
Yeah.
Every time. If you ever go see him live,
and
he gets to that point in the song, he just looks like lost.
He's looking for the teleprompter, which is down.
Yeah. And by the time he gets through the chorus, he's reminded again, so then he can get back into the next verse.
But how does he forget the lyrics but still remember to play all the piano parts?
It's muscle memory.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So number 5.
Muscle memory is a lot different than verbal memory.
Like vocal cord memory?
Well, like, it's different parts of your brain.
That's true. Now John at the bar is a blank. He gets me my blank for free. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now John at the bar is a genius. He gets me my son's baby teeth back from the New York Mets locker room for free.
What? Why are they there?
And why does he have to do this multiple times? Gets seems like...
I mean, you don't lose all your baby teeth at the same time.
But you might...
That'd be really weird.
Well,
if like all your baby teeth fell out all at once.
You can arrange it. Now John at the bar is a stern negotiator. He gets me my nephew's skeleton back from the pawn shop.
Is your nephew still alive? But without a skeleton?
It was a ransom type of situation. Yeah.
Did he wish he had no bones at one point?
He might have.
From the only wizard?
From the only wizard in the world. Now John at the bar is a hero. He gets me my father's skull back. Okay, hold on. We got teeth, we got
This is
skeleton, and skull
yeah.
now. He gets me my father's skull back from its display case at the Museum of Divorced Men. And lastly, now John at the bar is a real pal. He gets me my brother's bottom half back from the witch.
The witch? Is it the only witch
It doesn't say only.
in the world?
And witch isn't capitalized.
I mean, it's clearly baby teeth.
How
Everybody knows that.
How do you like my lower half? It looks like yours, but it is mine.
Mm-hmm.
You're going with the baby teeth.
Oh, yeah, of course. Baby teeth.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. You are once again incorrect. In this line.
Apparently, I only know choruses to songs.
Yeah, you're just like the masses. Incorrect. In this line, Billy Joel introduces us to his drinking buddy, John, who somehow manages to retrieve the bottom half of Billy Joel's brother from the witch. In 1984, when an interviewer asked Joel what happened to his brother's top half, the singer calmly stated, "I don't know and I don't care," and promptly exited the interview without another word.
Huh.
So I just another
What a jerk.
Add another mystery to the list of the mysteries surrounding the Joel family.
Yeah.
Their toilings with wizards and witches and the like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've got number 6. He says, "Bill, I believe blank is killing me," as a smile ran away from his face. Okay, so he says, "I believe in God. God is killing me," as a smile ran away from his face.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Bill, I believe my wild ambition to swallow a Corvette with my applauding family inside of it," as a smile is killing me, as a smile ran away from his face. He says, "Bill, I believe my ongoing quest to get bit by a rattlesnake in all 50 states is killing me," as a smile ran away from his face.
I would say that's probably true.
Okay, so don't throw out the last one
No,
yet.
I'm just saying, like, whether or not that's the right lyric. I think that scenario.
Anyone
would
pursuing
be
that,
cool.
yeah, anyone pursuing that dream is doesn't have much time left. He says, "Bill, I believe the hole that doctors inserted into my stomach so that married couples could look through it and wave to each other is killing me," as a smile ran away from his face. Tick tock. Tick tock.
I really question the people who come up with this shit.
I'm telling you, I want to write for this website.
I mean, rattlesnakes.
All
That's
right.
the most logical answer. I think that would be killing him.
Yeah, and the other ones are just so out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go with rattlesnake, getting bit by rattlesnake in all 50 states. Oh, man, again, I'm sorry. I guess it's not part of the chorus, so you're...
Fucking Jesus. Podcast.
I know.
Mother.
You only like the parts you can sing back and repeat. Nope. This is the line where John tells Billy Joel that he's worried his constant attempts to swallow an entire sports car while his family sits inside of it, and applauds the fact that they are getting swallowed alive might be having negative consequences on his health.
I mean, when you say it like that, it's obvious.
I know. Once you read it back like that, it does sound ridiculous.
Then I'm like, kind of running the song in my head, and I'm like, oh yeah,
there it is.
That's right.
And you got to remember, this is art. It's so open to interpretation. So I'm sure he's not.
There's a piano man. You got to remember, it's a piano man.
It's piano man. He's singing us a song. You're the piano man. This isn't a literal man trying to swallow an actual sports car with his family sitting inside. It's a metaphor.
Right.
It's a metaphor for the war, the Cola Wars, which he addressed in another song as well. He was very passionate about the Cola Wars.
Right.
Number 7. Now, Paul is
Which song did he? Which one of his songs did he also talk about the Cola Wars in?
We Didn't Start the Fire?
Oh. Thought it was Uptown Girl.
I don't know the lyrics too well on that one. He could have mentioned the Cola Wars in that song as well. Maybe he's taking the Uptown Girl, hey, on a first date, let's go check out the Cola Wars as they're happening. We'll find a nice
Right.
spot to sit on a blanket and have a little basket of sandwiches, and we'll observe the Cola Wars. Now, Paul is a real estate novelist who never had blank for a wife.
Oh, God.
Now, Paul is a real estate novelist who never had the gorgeous display of colorful neck feathers necessary for a wife. Now, Paul is a real estate novelist who never had room in the snake-filled terrarium he sleeps in for a wife.
I don't think that one's right because the snake thing wasn't right
That
earlier.
wasn't. I know. Now, so let's. Yeah. Now, Paul is a real estate novelist who never had stopped operating under the impression that if you were allowed to trade in bags of your old baby teeth at any public library in exchange for a wife.
I don't even think I follow that one.
Let me read it again. Who never had stopped operating under the impression that you were allowed to trade in bags of your old baby teeth in any public library in exchange for a wife.
Gotcha. Okay.
He never had that.
He never realized that they stopped doing that.
He never stopped operating under that impression. Yeah.
For some time, that was something they could do.
No, he just may have been under the impression that they did.
Gotcha.
And no matter whether or not he found out that it never was something that was offered or it was, but it no longer is, he never stopped operating under that impression.
Okay.
Are we clear on this one? Sort of.
Not at all. Moving on.
Or, now Paul is a real estate novelist who never had anything other than a cow's skull with the word wife written on it. Or no, it's with the word wife written on it for a wife. So he never had a cow's skull with the word wife written on it for a wife.
Who never had more than.
Anything other than.
Anything other than. So he did have a skull.
Yeah.
It said wife on it.
And there's only one way.
It was a cow's skull.
There's only one way to make love to a skull.
By skull fucking it?
Correct.
So he was either skull fucking. Okay.
His wife. There's nothing weird about that.
I mean.
Oh, wait, there is. There still is.
Still a lot of stuff weird about that.
Even if it's his wife, it's still bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to think now that you think that
I rationalized.
You've never not operated under the impression that you can just skull fuck your wife whenever you want.
That's why some people marry some women. It's what they're into.
I mean, people are into weird shit.
It's true. All right,
I've never seen skull fucking on a fetish list, but
you review a lot of fetish lists?
I've seen a couple.
I've written
skull fucking's never come up.
I've written a couple of my own.
I've written a couple of my own lists.
I've compiled some lists, some fetish lists. All right. So we gotta pick a choice.
Feathers. Yeah, feathers. He's never had the plumage.
Necessary.
Never had the plumage necessary to obtain a wife.
You're saying that Paul, a real estate novelist, is not a male bird.
Correct.
All right. Well, he very well could be, because unfortunately you are not correct in this answer.
I really, really hope that the only one I get right was the chorus one.
No, that's not it. This is the line where we find out that Paul, the real estate novelist, firmly believes that if you bring your bag of old baby teeth to a public library, they will provide you with a woman to be your wife. Libraries do not do this.
No, it's true. I mean, there's a lot of things you can get from a library. But a wife.
I'll clarify.
Mm-hmm.
Public libraries do not do this.
Okay.
Moving on.
I'm glad you clarified.
I'm not saying I know something, but anyway.
You're saying that non-public libraries will do this? What's a non-public library?
A private library. I'm not saying that I've been to one. I'm not saying I've worked this out. I'm just saying that I know that public libraries...
I had to put on a mask once and give somebody a password to get into their house.
Look, I'm not saying that.
My keys in a bowl.
I'm just saying I know that public libraries don't do that.
I've never once walked into a room full of skulls that all said wife on them.
And, browsed around until I found one that I liked particularly.
Mm-hmm.
Measured the holes. All right, number 8. And
Make sure I found the smallest ones.
And, the friction. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessmen slowly get blank. Okay.
I mean, done. That's the lyric.
They get blank. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessmen slowly get smaller and smaller while their heads stay the same size.
Oh.
As the businessmen slowly get herded into the ocean by a sheepdog.
Okay.
As the businessmen slowly get turned into steam by the world's only wizard. Callback. And
that wizard's working overtime.
It's the only one. As the businessmen slowly get excited for a bloodbath as the furious chefs surround me and start shouting, "Kill him! Kill him, the enemy of dough."
I think. See, the thing is now I'm trying to almost play against the game and trying to get it wrong.
You're trying to beat the game at its own game.
Trying to beat the game at its own score. I'm going to say sheepdog into the ocean.
All right, we're just going to clickety-clack that answer. Wrong again, Matt, of course.
Yes.
This is probably the second most popular part of the song next to the chorus because in this part, this is the line where the businessmen start getting amped up to watch Billy Joel get murdered by the angry chefs.
I had a feeling that was the right one.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't want to pick that one.
Gotcha, because you want to just get the chorus right.
Back. The chefs are back, so I'm like, ugh, it's probably the chefs.
All right, we got another double blank answer here. So number 9 is, it's a pretty good crowd for a Saturday, and the manager gives me a blank because he knows that it's blank they've been coming to see, to forget about life for a while. So, and the manager gives me a children's menu because he knows that it's adult men asking aloud from the children's menu they've been coming to see.
Well, that one doesn't make any sense.
Wait, let me say that again. Okay. It's a pretty good crowd for a Saturday, and the manager gives me a children's menu because he knows that it's adult men reading aloud from the children's menu they've been coming to see, to forget about life for a while. Yeah, I
now that you read it correctly.
Yeah, I did not read it correctly the first time, and I felt it as I went along. Okay.
You're supposed to be the one of us that is good at reading.
Well, my eyes, I think, are starting to, go a little bit, and my monitor's far away from my face, and I could probably try to enlarge this well.
Are you going to, Sean, you're going to get some, you're going to have to get some bifocals in your old age here?
I might have to get some cheaters or something at least, And,
Go to Walgreens, pick them up from the little kiosk full of different glasses that they have there.
Yeah, find some frames that look good on my face, complement my features. I think I'm due for like an accessory. I don't have.
When was the last time you went to an eye doctor? You might just be getting shitty vision and might need to get some glasses.
Actual glasses. I haven't had an eye test since I was probably in elementary school, maybe.
Yeah, you should probably go get your eyes checked.
Okay.
You could be endangering a lot of people.
I'm not. No. If properly driving requires that I can read fine print on, say, like a prescription bottle without having to pull it away from my face and having in a room that's very well lit.
Oh, you're fucking farsighted too. That's weird.
Yeah, if it's close, it gets blurry. I have to pull it back for it to come into focus.
Yeah, you just need reading glasses then.
Yeah. It's a pretty good crowd. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. So what's your choice? Oh, no, I only read the first answer.
You only read one.
I know. Okay. Sorry. And the manager gives me a painting of Jesus losing to Darth Vader in an arm wrestling match because he knows that it's my world-class collection of art depicting Jesus doing badly at sports they've been coming to see.
I want that.
You want that painting?
Yeah.
Guess
Jesus
what?
and Darth Vader arm wrestling.
You can easily
Brilliant.
AI that shit up right now. You can just
I'm sure
go
I could,
online
yeah.
and type that exact prompt, and you will get a glorious painting of this activity, of this
Yeah.
event.
It's not the same.
And the manager gives me a goodbye kiss because he knows that it's the gruesome spectacle of 1,000 vindictive chefs murdering me for my crimes against dough they've been coming to see. And lastly, because he knows that it's Batman. What? Okay. And I started at the wrong spot. And the manager gives me a Batman costume because he knows that it's a show where a man in a Batman costume yells, "I'm not the real Batman" for 6 hours. They've been coming to see.
We're going to go with Jesus versus Darth Vader.
Because you really want that to be the real lyric, don't you?
I just want that painting.
Commission our friend Snooze Magoo to make it happen.
If he's listening.
I'm sorry, Matt. Once again, you are incorrect on this particular lyric. This is the part of the song Piano Man where the manager of the bar gives Billy Joel a goodbye kiss because he knows angry chefs are about to murder him in front of a paying crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seemed very obvious as that was going to be the answer.
This is the through line of this song. That, and wasn't it his son that really angered the chefs in the beginning? And why are they after him and not his son?
I don't know, and I don't care.
All right, we have the last question for this song.
That was a callback to Billy Joel's interview earlier
about his brother's top half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And blank sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever's happening inside of my father's coffin sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer is choice number one. And the final shriek of the world's only wizard as he gets eaten alive by ants sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer. And the word Barnaval sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer.
I mean, it's not wrong.
It's not wrong. This is the one that doesn't sound wrong. And as the vengeful chef take three. And as the vengeful chefs force feed me so much dough that I explode, the noise that my body makes as it bursts apart like a wet bomb sounds like a carnival, and the microphone smells like a beer. I mean,
Barnaval.
Barnaval sounds like a carnival. We can't argue. This is the one that's like the obvious choice is the right choice. Or it could be, people could think that can't be the answer. It's too easy. Right. It's too on the nose. It was too good to be true, Matt. It is not the correct answer.
Yes.
As most dedicated, true Billy Joel fans know, as Piano Man draws to a close, Billy Joel sings about how the furious chefs finally punish him for his crimes against dough by force-feeding him dough until he explodes. And he describes the festive sound his dough-swollen body makes as it blows apart. He also adds that the microphone smells like a beer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to scroll back up to the beginning.
The person who made this quiz really had a through line on this one they stuck with.
They sure did.
And made it pretty obvious what a lot of the answers were.
Let me find it.
Safe to say I don't know this version of Piano Man very well.
This version? It's the version. It's the radio edit, even. They've got much more gruesome on the record.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So let's find out how well you know the strong piano man. Let's get the results.
I think we already know.
Well, I mean, they don't sugarcoat it or coat it. They're not pulling their punches here. You did bad.
Yep.
You did bad. Miserable. What have you done? Don't you know anything about Piano Man? When Billy Joel croons the sweet melody, do you even pay attention at all? Clearly not. You've ruined the good feelings for everyone. You forgot
Don't ask me a question, then answer it.
You forgot all the words. You did so bad, and you are bad.
Wow. Well, I'm going to hire some chefs to deal with me.
Oh wow. You know, I will admit I don't know that I could have done much better myself. I may have gotten the chorus wrong.
It's a crapshoot, really, with this quiz,
and with Billy Joel.
Maybe, just maybe.
Well, I think we've learned a lot about pianos and men, and Billy and Joel, and the varying levels of concern he has for his family members.
Baby teeth.
And wives being offered up at some sort of libraries.
The Wive Library.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have this evening.
Yeah.
We hope you've
downer of an ending.
We hope you've enjoyed yourselves listening to this episode. Let us know how you did on the quiz. I'm sure you were playing along as we did. And, let us know how many questions out of 10 you got correct compared to Matt's abysmal 1.
Yeah. I'm pretty proud of myself.
Yeah. Now, would you have felt better had you gotten all 10 of them incorrect?
Yeah, actually, I actually wish that was the actual outcome.
Well, if you have time, we can retake it. We know it'll go. We know the second time through will be faster because I've stumbled through the questions already.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get a different ending response than what I got.
Perhaps. Well, that's all the time we have, folks. Again, we hope you've enjoyed yourselves. This is episode 187. It's the police code for homicide. And we will see you next Tuesday afternoon.
Did we have them open their textbooks today?
No, we didn't. This was a sort of a free for all. This was like we're kind of done. We're kind of finishing out the finals, the testing portion of the term, and this is like a free day. It's like just some fun. There's some other games involved. This wasn't the only thing that we did in class today. This was just one of the fun things of many. We played Silent Ball, of course. We exchanged Mother's Day cards, which you do in class. You often buy a Mother's Day card for your classmates and put it in the little.
If they're a mother.
What? Yeah,
seems fitting.
It is fitting.
Their mother.
Yeah, it fits. Yeah, it fits very nicely. It fits very snugly. It fits just the right amount.
The fact that, we can't deny the fact that teen pregnancy is a thing.
I mean, we could argue that MTV has glorified this circumstance, and given
you want to get famous. Want to get famous when you're young?
Get knocked up, and hopefully MTV will think you're pretty enough to be on TV.
Yeah. I mean, I've never watched the show, but I've seen ads for it. I don't think being pretty is a prerequisite.
Ouch. Hot take from Mr. Matt Schlegel, the former mail delivery boy.
Not even.
Mail carrier.
Never delivered a piece of mail in my life.
You never helped your mom on her route?
No.
No, none of you kids ever wanted to hey, Mom, can I go with you on your route?
I don't think I legally would have been able to do that. It's a federal job.
I mean,
you have to go through like stuff to be able to. It's not super easy to become a postal
Yeah, but
carrier.
this is Rogers we're talking about here. You know, everybody knows everybody. It's loosey goosey over there. I mean, your dad Frankenstein together a flatbed truck from two incompatible pieces and just drove it around on the streets illegally, carrying.
It wasn't at all illegal.
Look, you can't combine a Ford and a Chevy and expect everything to work out.
There was no combining of the two, of the Ford or the Chevy. It was the flatbed from the Chevy that went onto the Ford.
Yeah,
the flatbed wasn't even part of the Chevy.
The Chevy flatbed you attached to the Ford.
It was a homemade flatbed.
Even worse, because you said that the flatbed came from Wisconsin.
No,
it came from somewhere else. There's something came from Wisconsin. Something came from Wisconsin.
The Ford came from Wisconsin.
Right. So you got a Wisconsin vehicle intermingling with some perhaps Minnesota parts. I mean, you can't do that and expect everything to turn out well.
You've never bought a part for your vehicle that, came from somewhere that you don't necessarily know where it came from?
Look, Minnesota and Wisconsin have a long lasting rivalry, as we know. So, I mean, you can't expect the combination, like the pairing.
You were talking out of your ass, sir. You were talking so far out of your ass. You have no idea what you're talking about.
And that's why
I'm appalled.
That's why you are getting.
I'm offended.
That's why you're seeing so much cheese.
Angry. I am so upset with you right now.
Sorry.
See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Goodbye.
You fuck.
Sometimes.
If you have a question, complaint, or threat for Sean or Matt, you can reach us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X, or Instagram at hsfamouspod, or you can email the show at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. No animals were pleasured during the making of this podcast, despite our best efforts. All hail our Lord and Savior.
He fucked the dough, didn't he?